Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming to hear Fabio speak. That's Fabio, not Fabio. Fabio. But he is a good-looking man. There's no doubt about that. So Fabio's going to share a bit about his journey into using art as therapy, his own personal journey. He works with collage, and he'll share that with you. And also at the end of the presentation, you'll be able to buy his new book. So before we go any further, let's have a round of applause for the new book. And because we're out here and we can make as much noise as we like, please make Fabio very welcome. Fabio.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Hi. Thank you for coming here. It's an honor to be presenting at Awakening and to have you here. Thank you for those who came to the booth and get to know me. Thank you for those who did my workshops before and experience what I do. I'm also, I work with marketing for the past 20 years. So this talk is about how to reconnect with your purpose using art as a vehicle. And I'll be telling my story to explain that to you. Did you know that 95% of your choices it's made emotionally? Everything. What you're wearing, why you're here, why you go every Monday to the gym, why it's very busy over there on Mondays, what you have for breakfast. We're driven by emotions. But in a paradox way, the world that we live in asks us to be rational, asks us to be very target-oriented. You need to organize yourself, your agenda, your finances, your performance. So we kind of like live in this crazy paradox that like we are making decisions based on emotions, but why my life is directed by the rational side of it. That made me question a lot, and I've been doing this for 20 years, not collage, the other part, the marketing one. And some industries, they know how to use that very well. Marketing is one of them. Politics is another one. They know how to use emotions to make you make decisions. And that's what I was domesticated in my entire career. I was getting tools to learn about how to tell a story, using emotions for that. So for 20 years of marketing, I've been in all sides of marketing. So after graduation, I worked for banks, I worked for services, for products. I've been in an agency. I had an agency myself in Brazil. I'm Brazilian, I don't know if you noticed. So I had an agency. I was a contractor. I was a consultant, a mentor. So I've been working in marketing for a long time. And I've been using those tools a lot to convince people. I was not selling products for pets. I was selling how to make your best friend happy. I was not selling an insurance for bank. I was selling your kids being safe. But in my personal life, I was not applying those things into my life. I was living still in a very rational way. And if you talk to me a few years ago asking about my purpose, if you talk to me about a few years about my purpose, I would say immediately that my purpose would be to sell people, to promote people and services. That was my quick answer. I'm here to be on the backstage. I'm here to help you grow. That was my purpose. What I didn't know, that actually it was my purpose for 20 years. It was a chapter of my purpose. I needed to leave at that marketing professional to be here now, to be where I am now. So I honor that as well. But I need to understand that something was missing. Then art found me. I came to Australia 9 years ago. I came married. My ex is an artist. I got to know art from him. And at the time, I thought I would be just like his marketeer. I was doing, again, serving, promoting him, and doing everything to help him to be a very famous artist. But fun fact, like I've been working with marketing communication for a long time, but my main issues in life were like around communication, especially about feelings. It was hard for us as a couple to communicate things. We didn't know, we were afraid of hurting ourselves. I don't know, it was really hard for us to communicate things. And art was a way for me to connect with emotions, the beginning of the connecting with emotions. I'm a Buddhist. I've been doing, I did my refuge vow 16 years ago. And I started doing like meditation because I was taking medications for anxiety and compulsive behaviors. So I started meditating at the time. And art also came as a contemplative practice. It was a way for me, in the center, they were recommending us to have some sort of practice that help you to be present. So I was doing, it can be like gardening, it can be cooking, mindful walking. For me, was art. Luckily, like, I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, I was like, oh, my partner is doing art, he's painting here for 5-6 hours, I'll do the same. I didn't have any, let's say, artistic experience at the time. I was like, I don't know how to paint, I don't know how to draw, but I'm really good cutting paper. I like doing it. So I don't know, for any reason, life brought me to collage. So my media is collage. So it was a way of me to connect, to be with myself. But when you're doing things like that, when you're doing a contemplative practice, when you're working with art, for some reason, you get some headspace. And when you get some headspace, things come to your brain. You start downloading things from your subconscious that they were all there all the time trying to communicate with you. And you were like, wow, I never thought about that. And so, yes, so art was helping me to express myself, especially with him. When we were struggling with migrating, oh, I forgot to say that, like, the reason why I left Brazil was because I was too stressed. I was working 10, 12 hours a day as I'm organizing events. And then I decided to migrate to Australia. Like, okay, migration, no stress. No stress at all. I won't be stressed. So, but we forget that when we migrate, especially when it's not your first language, you need to learn a new language. You need to rebuild the whole network of connections. You need to rebuild everything from scratch. Almost like learning again to be yourself. Imagine after getting married, because we got married like a year before, so we were getting to know each other through this experience. And we didn't have the tools to communicate properly and to help ourselves. I usually say to everybody when I have couples in my workshops, I say, please communicate. Please communicate to each other. Even if it's like, I don't like what you're doing, please communicate. That was the biggest lesson that I got from this journey. And then since I got this headspace, it was easier for me to understand some of my confusions. So the first thing that I noticed is there was a huge disconnection with my body and my brain. I was not feeling like at all. It was hard for me to be empathetic with people, and also because I knew how to manipulate conversations. So it was really hard. It was really, I don't know. I was playing from the rational one, as I said before. I also understood that I was addicted to adrenaline, and I thought it was super healthy, but actually it was very compulsive. I was running every day. I was doing a lot of things, and I was going to the gym and doing crossfitting and anything. It was easier for me to understand that it was just a compulsive. And then I noticed that it was compulsive to everything. It was compulsive to Instagram, to dating apps, to everything. And also I noticed that there was some sort of imbalance between my feminine and my masculine. which is, again, rational, emotion, mom and dad. There was this huge imbalance, which I don't blame none of them. It's just, it is the way it is. During this process, so the bad news is, and good news is, we broke up. So we broke up a few years ago, and that was the trigger for me to be curious about my journey. And then I start looking for some new tools, because I didn't have the tools at the time. So I was like, I need to look for something new. So I went through some tools. So I did self-hypnosis. I did breathwork. I've done plant medicine, especially psilocybin and ayahuasca, facilitated by professionals. And through that process, I saw a lot of the confusions that I was carrying. And it was so easy for me to understand that it's so really hard to talk about healing if you're isolating yourself, because we are not hitting this planet alone. We are hitting community. We are hitting with a family. There's a reason why you chose that family. So I suggest to everybody, if you're struggling with something, be curious about mom and dad. Be curious about the way you were raised, because the answers are there. So I usually say to everybody, I said that in my book, I said, and that's an analogy that I like to use, we are all a living collage. A beautiful, ethereal, fragile collage. You are made of pieces that comes from everywhere. Come from mom, from dad, from generation, from society. You think that is your personality. Yes, that's part of the personality, but it comes from a lot of things that you don't even, maybe are not even aware of. So, facing as a collage, if I see myself as like that, I can replace things. I can find a new meaning for them. I can remove things that don't belong to me anymore, and I can reshape this whole collage into something else. And then art became more than just a way for me to show what I do. So 2023, I did my first solo exhibition. I documented all my healing journey, let's say that process, with 23 pieces in a gallery. It was really important for me to do that as a milestone in my life. Okay, I'm now facing this as a possible new pathway. But on that day, I was really happy to see people engaging with my art, but I was like, there's something missing. I don't know what it is yet, but there's something missing. And then, I don't know if you know, but if you go to statistics regarding the creative industry in Australia, it says that 80% of the artists in Australia, all categories, singers, dancers, painters, 80%, they all have a second job to sustain themselves. All of them. So I was like, okay, I'm just part of the statistic. I'll keep working with marketing, and this will be my plan B. But my body was talking to me like, I don't know, for any reason, my body was been talking to me for years, like, you need to stop doing that. And then I start seeing art as a sacred place for me. And then I decided to put some boundaries into my marketing, and I was expanding the time that I was working with art, and that was bringing me more, let's say, more opportunities. So I started doing more workshops. I had my own studio. I was doing more collaborations, and that was giving me more like awareness of, oh, I can expand this. And there was one workshop that I did that I was like, you know what? I think I'm using all those tools that I did for my healing journey into my workshop. So I started doing meditation, breath work into my techniques. And in that section, we all cried. The whole class, we were all crying. And from that moment, I was like, that's the piece that was missing. It's not about, I don't want to talk about me anymore. I'm happier. I was happy there, but I'm happier when I'm serving. When I'm giving back the whole story. Anyway, and helping you, someone, to be in touch with their own and be curious about their own. So that's why art became not just the way that I was communicating, but became a sacred ritual to me. And I've been doing this for 5 years. The last 3 years I've been doing this in my own workshop, and I was doing variation of those. And because of the marketing tools that I have, I was taking notes, and the rational side that I said, like I was taking notes of what is working, what is not working. So I had like a process, a methodology that it was working for the past 5 years, especially the 3 years. I was like, this can be something else. And I thought it was an online course. Until I did an ice bath in Coogee on Sunday. And then I was coming back home, and I was like, that's something happening here. I don't know what it is after that ice bath. And I went back home, sit on my computer, and in 1 hour, I had like the whole introduction written. I was like, oh, this is a book. From that day, I used all my marketing skills to write this book. So I block my agenda, create a project, create phases, all the subtasks, like a project, a marketing project. And I was like, from now on, I'm doing this by myself, alone, from beginning to end. And then every single day for 3 months, every single day for 2-3 hours, I was writing this book. So the book the name is Art to Heal, 13 Practices to self-discovery through creative arts. It's a journey. I'm a kid from the 80s, so I love video games. So I decided to do like something like a journey. So you start doing, and basically I'm just replicating what I was doing on my workshop. So you start by getting to know yourself, what you think is yourself, which is your ego, your character. And then you go navigating into inner child and family and confusions and impermanence and conflicts. And then you end with a self-portrait. Every chapter has a QR code for you to go and use a meditation, a guided meditation, to enter in the mode, to feel more inspired to create. And at the end, you're invited to share what you did with someone else. And so we have a virtual gallery. So that's how I understood that actually what you think it's like, everybody thinks that your purpose should be something, a destination. I don't think it's a destination. I think you just need to understand that life happens in cycles. So you need to respect them. And understand that for one part to end, you need to start, you need to end another one. So when I decided, and I was aware that I need to end my marketing career, it was the beginning of my journey as an artist and as an author, and also I don't know what I'm going to be in the future. But it made me honor all the lessons that I got from previous purposes. So let's say your purpose will have stages. Maybe the stage that you're not very aware now, but it will help you in the next step. So trust it. And be open and be very curious. And don't forget about mom and dad. Go there, investigate it. Not just mom and dad, of course. We bring things from generations, but be curious. So I just leave here. If you want to make some questions, I'm open for it. My booth is the G9. Thank you very much for your attention. So yeah, that's it. Any questions? What do you think? Yes?
I love the concept of art and healing. I'd love to share about bridging the mindset gap from art healing to I have to make a living. I want to use the word monetization because that's very strategic with the brain.
Yeah.
Bridge the gap to make this something that you can then become your world and
Yep.
financially support yourself.
Yes. So it's very easy for you to talk, like I speak about that on the vision board chapter. So what happens is when you're planning vision boards, usually when you do vision boards, it's always the same. It's like a plane, a house, a very hot body. Everybody does the same. I was like, I don't like that. So I think the marketing helped me with that. It was working with archetypes and symbols. So if you speak to my friends, they might, like, some of them they call delusion. But all the delusion that I had so far happened. All of it. And I was talking to Katie the other day, and then I said, well, I'm launching this book now at the Afterlife Convention, and then in December I'll be launching the one in Portuguese, and then I'm doing the audiobook in August. And then she was like, oh my God, listen to you. I was like, oh my God, so delusional. But it was like, I love your delusion because it happens. So remember when I talk about emotions at the beginning? These kind of things are like, you need to understand that life happens based on emotions. So you need to remember that. Of course, you're talking to someone that's a very risk taker. So that's why I say be curious, because maybe what is blocking you from taking a risk comes from mom and dad. I'm saying mom and dad, but you know what I mean? Comes from your history, your family, your story. So I think it's a mix. It's not about money. I'm not talking about money, how to make a living, because I'm still surviving. And I say to everybody, like, I'm launching a book at the Afterlife Convention. I'm ending my chapter in marketing. If you see me at town hall with a cup on the floor like this and buy my book, please throw some coin, but know that I'll be happy. I'll be happy doing that. Because it's really hard to measure success, right? Like, I know some people that they have a lot of money, but they have zero purpose in life. Addicted to a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that I'm aware or I'm an enlightened person and this is my awakening. No. It's far away from that. But I know exactly who I am now. And I know that I'm more present than I've ever been. So what I suggest is just try to find what is your contemplative practice? What makes you, I'm here, 100% present. Start doing it. Don't put too much pressure. Just start doing it. One thing at a time. Just start doing it. How you feel it. And be curious with your family. Like because and just go. Trust me. Life will bring people. I have an example here. I'll mention you, Maria. When I wrote the book, and then I was like, okay, I wrote the book. I'll mention you as well. I wrote the book, and then I was like, how am I going to publish now? Have no idea. Did the book, have no idea, zero. And then I mentioned to I don't know how I'm going to publish this, but I have like a month in a month to do it. So she said, well, this girl on the Facebook group, she was looking for facilitators for her workshop, and I saw that she wrote a book, so why don't you talk to her? So I messaged Maria, and I was like, hey, hi, I'm writing a book. Hello, I'm writing a book. Can we talk? She said, let's meet in person. We met in person, we spoke in an hour of conversation. She gave me so many tips, and it was because of her that I was like, yes, I can do this. And then I was getting information, and then everything happened. Everything happened so fast. So trust the big picture, because if you speak with and I'm so proud of the marketing of Fabio, because it was because of him, and Steve also said that to me once, because your marketing experience, you're fast tracking your artist career. And it's true. My marketing, because the whole journey, the project management, everything helped me to write this and to organize this the way I did it. It's just because of the marketing. So I'm so thankful for the marketing, Fabio. But I need to let him go now. Now I'm marketing Fabio's promoting Archer Hill only. Please, no, I don't want to be in a town hall now in winter, please. Any other question? Yep.
It's just about the number 13. Why is 13?
I had this thing with numbers.
Yeah.
So I have a very, very special thing with 23, and you all know, my friends know, things in my life happened on the 23rd. Big stuff. When I came here, my citizenship, my residency, big stuff. My wedding, my divorce, all 23. So when I started writing the book, it was 23 chapters. So I was putting out, it would be 23, like the exhibition, 23 artworks, I'll be doing 23. And then when I saw the amount, then the marketing Fabio said, you're not doing this, 23 would be like a Bible like that. And it's not a practical thing, because this is a very practical book. I was like, it would be too much. And then I was like, okay, let me just contemplate and meditate and find, let's separate the main ones. And then I was separating, nothing a number. 13. I was like, okay, that's a good number. So I was checking numerology and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, it will be 13. So that's why I decided to be 13. Any other question?
So, did you first connect with art during your ex-partner?
Yes.
Did you had an art experience before? Because I feel like I always wanted to make some art, but I don't know how to start.
He said something to me once. Like, I did marketing. So in communication, we learn a lot how to manipulate. I had photography. I have some creative classes in university, but 20-something years ago. He said something to me that he said, if you want to become something, that's what he learned in his university, when he did university like art in Perth. He said, do every day, at least a little bit. From that day, I was like, okay. I got a pile of magazines, put on my side table. Every day I'm sitting here, choosing one magazine and doing one collage. Every single day, one collage. Every single day. There was no artistic signature. There was no one was judging me. I was just doing it. And then there was a photographer that she came to do an interview with him about his work. So she was taking pictures of us, the home, the cat, the family, those things. And then she said, who did this? And then he said, oh, my partner did it. It was not mine. He was like, are you selling this? And then I was like, no, I'm not. I just did this for fun. She said, you're not selling. I was like, no, I'm not selling. Do you want it? She was like, can I? I said, of course. So I gave it to her. And then she framed it, and she sent me a picture. There was the spark. I was like, oh, I can exhibit. So another friend invited him to an exhibition. It was like a group exhibition. And then final, that's what I say to you, it will happen. Because it was a group exhibition with eight people. I was just the marketeer. I was just promoting them. And then the last minute, 2 weeks before the exhibition, in a gallery, one of the artists decided they didn't want to participate because he lived in Cronulla anyway. He decided not to leave. The curator say, I saw what you do with collage. Why don't you exhibit? I was like, I don't have pieces. She said to me, you have 2 weeks. And paper is fast, so you don't need to wait. Yeah, you don't need to wait to dry. So go for it. So for 2 weeks, I was doing my first series related to religion to exhibit. And fun fact, he didn't sell anything in the exhibition, but I sold 4 pieces. So I was like, okay, that's a sign. So my suggestion is this. I'm repeating what he told me. Just do every day. A little bit. Just save some time for you. Face as a contemplative practice, a time for you to be with yourself. This is my me time. We are spending a lot of time on looking at phones. You can spend 30 minutes, an hour, every single day, minimum, looking at phones. What if you separate like part of this to do something for yourself? For me, I work really well in the morning. So I was separating that in the morning. Every morning I was doing that before going to work or before going to the gym. So that's mine. What time is it? Any more other questions? Are we good in time? I didn't check. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
I was just going to say, what happens when you're your own worst critic when it comes to your art? You do your art and you look at it and you think, that's not good enough, or you just keep tweaking it and fixing it and adding to it until in the end you get so confused that you don't even know what. What would you do?
I have one thing that happens to me every single time. When you spend time creating, especially if you're very perfectionist, and I think the marketing guy was all the time like, no, it's still missing something. Keep adding that, keep doing that, keep always adding stuff. I have one thing that I decided, this is the sign that for me that it's time to stop. Is if I see myself standing and admiring it and looking at it, it's a sign that my body is saying to me, it's ready to go. Stop moving. Stop control. It's trying to, because I had this thing with control. So it's like, stop trying to control it. If I see myself leaving the table and observing it for more than 5 minutes, it's done. Trust it. That's how I do it. So like that happens to me. Like if I'm working for a long time and then I was like, I kind of like it. Okay, let me just see from distance. It's already done. But but it's me negotiating with rational Fabio. Like, okay, let's go. No, it's missing this. No, let's go. So that's how I do. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys.